45, 47 said that he was going to be fixing, and he ain't fixing it. And people are starting, like, I don't know if you've seen it, Karen, but I've seen the people taking off their MAGA hats and saying, I ain't
Yeah,
MAGA anymore, right?
I
Like,
saw that, but
yeah,
let's not be fooled again. I had a caller call up saying we should give Marjorie Taylor Greene some grace because she. I was like, nah, she won't get any from here because everything she's doing
yeah,
is
like,
self-serving. But
and also, why are you
but
going to give somebody
but
grace for
hold on,
being like,
but hold on.
yeah,
But to that point, good. Wake the F up. I'm glad you're
right.
waking up. I'm not going to give you any special dispensation because you have finally seen the light, even though it is self-serving because the man has been treating you poorly. So you're mad. You're big mad. It's a selfish thing that she's doing. But I don't care as long as the result is people start talking about the things that actually matter.
Exactly. And like, I'm not going to give anybody applause for being decent people. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, go above and beyond, then I'll give you some applause. But she is basically just doing what a decent person should be doing. So nobody should applaud that. People should be like, okay, and that's the way we
Right.
should be thinking
Right.
about it.
And if we're being honest, she still votes against your rights and resources. She still voted for the big
Yeah.
beautiful bill. She still is going to vote for all of the horrible things that will cause harm to the people that need it the most. So yeah. What do we think about Representative Tim Burkett? He's a Republican from Tennessee's second congressional district. He said something interesting that made me sit up as well. He's been slamming lawmakers again. I think
for trading. Yeah.
insider trading. People are waking up. I appreciate it. Smiz, play Tim Burkett's clip, please.
Somebody asked me if I was going to wear my jacket up there, and I said, to quote the immortal words of Henry Winkler when he played the Fonz, I always rumble in this jacket, because that's what we're up against. This is a fist fight, folks. This is, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer. This is created by man, and it needs to stop. We've, for years, Congress has been using hard-working American taxpayers' money to get rich. Dadgum, it's got to stop. America knows what the heck's going on. Everybody wants to knock Pelosi. Heck, she's not even in the top 10. Get on that Unusual Whales site. This is pathetic, folks. We all know what's going on. Congress knows what the hell's going on, and it needs to stop. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayers' dime for too dadgum long, and it's got to stop. This place is crooked and is as crooked as a dog's leg. That's an old East Tennessee saying, but it's the truth, and it needs to stop. America knows what's going on. We're in committee meetings. We hear things before y'all do. We can make those connections. When you see a member of this body making 400, 500, 600 trades a year,
Wow.
you know something's wrong. And I want to say something. I'm going to get these guys mad at me, but I really don't care because they can't vote in my district. This thing ain't going to pass. If we're going to pass something in the House, and then guess what? The Senate will either, one, not take it up, or they'll come back in righteous indignation and say, oh, we need to make this stronger, something totally ridiculous, and they'll send it back to us. This is a scam that's being played on the American public, and it needs to stop. Let's quit with this nonsense. Let's give America a reason to trust Congress for once in our miserable lives. This is our chance to stand up and say, we hear what you're saying, America. We're going to fix this dadgum problem. But we probably won't do it. And I'll remain ticked off the rest of the day because of this.
Dadgum.
Yeah.
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
You better say that. I was like, yes. I've been talking about the insider trading because I can't insider trade. I trade. I don't know. I'm not passing bills and then I'm able to capitalize on them. And he's right. Nancy Pelosi was rich before she came in. They got richer. It's a conversation I've had many times with Keith Ellison. He was like, everybody comes in. If they come in poor, they leave rich because they're able to do it. There's too much money. I have to fundraise. I shouldn't have to fundraise. I should be serving every 2 years if you're in the House. Yep. It's untenable. But the fact that people are coming into Congress serving themselves, which is why, Marjorie Taylor Greene has she ain't come in with a lot of money. They are insider trading. And if we can't do it, they shouldn't be able to do it either. Matter of fact, they shouldn't be able to trade, period, if you are serving in Congress because it's too much opportunity there.
I would take it a step further. I would say that you should not make more in Congress than the median income of the state that you're serving from.
I love that.
Right? Because then you have some incentive to like change the laws and to change the rules, right? Like
that's right.
That is not a liberal or a leftist position, right? That is a position that is squarely on the, like, if you want to be a servant of the people, be a servant of the people. You should not make more than the median income of your state. And if you want the people in your state to make more money, you should actually be voting for them to make more money. Like, we shouldn't be like people, like during the shutdown, everybody was yelling about SNAP benefits. Like, everybody's saying, why are we talking about SNAP benefits and not talking about the reasons we have SNAP benefits? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, having SNAP benefits is a failure of a country. We are the richest country in the world, and we can't feed all of our people without government assistance, right? That is a failure of the government. That is not a failure of people. Poverty is not a failure of people. It is failure of the capitalist system, which requires there to be losers. In order for capitalism to work, there needs to be winners, there needs to be losers. That's right. If we can just change the ratio of what losing looks like, so that if you lose, it's just like you can't buy a PlayStation, but you can still eat and you can still get healthcare, I'm okay with that. Right? Let's change the ratio for where people are not losing, because, like, when I was a kid growing up with no electricity at certain points, right? Like, I don't want people to not have electricity. That should be a right. You should be able to live in a place that has hot water, electricity, and lights and all this other stuff without some system going, well, you ain't pay your bill this week. So, like, that is a failure of, we are the richest country in the world. Richest country in the world. And we got poor people. We are about to have a trillionaire. Right? The electric asshole is about to be a trillionaire, right? We got people who are, like, I just saw a post recently
well, he's not a citizen though.
Yeah, but he's here.
He's not even a citizen.
He's here.
Well, he is a citizen. He has become a citizen, but he's an immigrant. Isn't he an immigrant?
He's an immigrant.
A great immigrant story. Isn't that a great Don't we love it when people come? Anyway, I just want to shout out Tim Burkett again. Those of you who live in Tennessee, again, we're going to be fair here. This man said some things that need to be said, and he's absolutely right. It's not going to get done because the people love the money too much. They don't love the people. They love the money too much, and we know they're selling us out for themselves. We know
absolutely.
That. So now
all of them. And this is a thing that people have a tendency to be like, but the Democrats. I'm like, no, it's the Democrats and the Republicans. It's like everybody. This is not a partisan issue. Like, I don't call myself a Democrat specifically because of things like this, right? Because I don't want to be connected to the party, right? I am an egalitarian leftist. I believe that if you're going to take my money and force me to take my money, you should use my money to do what I want you to do with it, which is take care of poor people, make sure women have rights, make sure trans and LGBTQIA people are safe, make sure Black and brown kids can eat lunch. That's what I want you to do with my money, not send $40 billion to Israel when they have free health care and free education, and we can't get it, but we're paying for their wars. Like, come on.
Venezuela.
Or Venezuela.
Who the hell? Okay. So I'm going to play this clip. I was going to play Steve Cohen, Democrat from Tennessee, who is pissing me off too. Like, he needs to be quiet, shut up, sit down somewhere. But Rich Layton had 5 rules to unfuck
Unfuck.
I'll
say
Congress.
it. You won't have to say it. I'll say it.
Yes.
I'll say it for you.
Yes. 5 rules to
unfuck
Congress. Yes. Okay. Play the clips, Miz.
How I would fix how fucked up the United States Congress is with 5 simple rules. The first rule obviously being term limits. The people in Congress should be just like the president. They are only allowed to serve 2 terms. Then they can make way for someone else who has something else to say. Rule number 2, congressmen and women are paid the median salary of the state they represent. If the congressman or woman wants to make more money, they need to take action to raise the median salary of the people in their state. This will immediately guarantee that they understand the people they represent. And I know people are going to say that would be hard to do because they have to go back and forth between Washington and their state. That leads me to rule number 3. No more traveling to Washington, and also no overseas travel paid by the taxpayer. Now, how will we accomplish this? Easy. We all know what fucking Zoom is. It is 2024. There is no fucking reason for our representatives to be traveling to Washington. There is no reason they have to meet in the same fucking room. We just install big-ass iPads on each chair, and they can talk it out over Zoom. It's fucking insane that we are paying for our representatives to travel all the way across the country just to fucking vote. All we need is big-ass iPads, secure push-button voting technology, and video conferencing technology. 3 things we already have. As for the overseas travel, there is zero fucking reason for a representative from Idaho to have to go to Paris on official business. They are not foreign dignitaries. They are not part of some international Peace Corps. They are representatives of their state, so they need to stay in their fucking state. Now, if they want to go overseas on vacation, that's fine. They can pay for it themselves. But there's absolutely no fucking reason taxpayers should be footing the bill for representatives or senators to fly overseas. Now, without them traveling all over the place, that's going to free up a lot of time. And that'll lead into rule number 4, which is single issue bills only. Any bill that's submitted to be voted on can only be about one single issue. There is no fucking reason a veterans benefit bill should have anything unrelated to veterans in it. It should be putting up one issue at a time, voting on one issue at a time, and passing or not passing one bill at a time. Want more money for Ukraine? Put up a bill that is just the Ukraine funding. Don't combine it with some bill giving benefits to old people to try to make everyone feel bad and vote yes. If a bill or an issue can't pass on its own merits, then it doesn't need to be passed. And lastly, rule number 5. Anytime a member of Congress speaks to the media or the American people, it is automatically assumed that they are under oath and can be charged with perjury for lying to the American people. And if through a jury of their peers, preferably that jury should also be made up of the residents of the state they represent, they will be immediately removed from office. And that's it. 5 rules to unfuck Congress.
Who is this guy and how do I find him?
His name is Rich Leighton, Leighton. And can we start with term limits?
Yes.
All right, because we have a congressperson that glitches out, falls down. We had another one.
404 errors.
Like we have another one who has dementia.
Yeah.
And one's a Republican, one's a Democrat. So we're gonna be fair here, right?
Yep.
We know they have dementia. Before that, it was Feinstein.
Yep.
She was in a whip. She couldn't. I don't even know if she was present. Y'all, term limits are important for two reasons. First of all, and maybe you do 4 terms in Congress because it's every in the House because it's every 2 years. Maybe do 4 terms. The Senate is 6 years, so do two terms there, like the president. Yeah. But here's what it allows you to build: a succession plan. You can groom and mentor a group of people who will come and replace you and give that institutional knowledge. It will allow you to not get complacent because you only have 2 years to get something done or 4 years to get something done. You only have these 2 terms or these 4 terms to get this done. And then you'll be, held accountable. I love the idea of term limits for not just Congress, but for the Supreme Court.
Yes,
that shouldn't be a job for life. It shouldn't be a job for life. Should not be a job for life. It should not be a job for life.
Yeah.
Period. Term limits are important.
Yep.
Because we're too lazy, unfortunately, to vote people out and to primary them. So we're okay with people running unopposed.
Like this whole thing with like people making the money, being accountable for what you say so that people don't get out there and lie. And this is also like not a left versus right thing, right? Because I have talked to people who are insiders in Washington, D.C. And I remember, Karen, walking through, I don't think I told you the story. I won't tell you who it was, but I was walking through the halls of Congress with somebody I know who worked with a congressperson. And my congressperson's office was there. He was a Republican and he was as crooked as the day is long, right? He ended up getting kicked out, right? And I was like, there's my congressman, he's crooked. And my friend who was working in Congress stopped very dramatic toward me and turned to me and said, Joel, they all are. Like 100%, like left, right, or other, right? He said they all are. And he started going down a list of all the things that these Democrats were doing and Republicans were doing. And it was wild. And these are people I vote for. And so now whenever I meet someone who is a politician, I legitimately will message my friend to say, is this a good person? Because I can't understand. I can't trust what they're saying in public.
I was just having a civics lesson because somebody's mad that Mamdani is going to meet. A bunch of people meet with the president of the United States tomorrow. And, initially I was like, but then I'm like, it's $7 billion on the line.
Yeah.
Is he going to give him the middle finger and make sure that you don't get the $7 billion? A lot of money. And New York City needs that money. Yeah. And that man needs that money. He cannot. And he's a politician. And let's stop deifying politicians because we like them. Let's stop putting them on. They are people. They are there for your rights and resources, period. Okay. Yeah. Which means they shouldn't be traveling to Paris and to Turkey and to Israel. Like, why? And I love what
this is exactly the problem with MAGA is that they are deifying their people, right? Like this is not just
MAGA. We
MAGA
all do it.
We all do it, but not to the extent that MAGA has done it, right?
That's
to
not
the point
true.
where they. I think so. If you think,
no, I think Mamdani. I think Obama was deified. I think Jasmine Crockett was being deified. I think we do it.
But I think Obama was deified, for much more symbolic reasons. But I think when you start talking to people about him now, though, right? You start talking, people start seeing like you didn't go far enough here, you didn't do this much here, you took an easy way out. So people have lots of criticisms of him. Even people who supported him while he was in office, like some of the leftists that supported him, had criticisms of him then, right? So I think that people, and so when you look like if Obama had been accused of being a pedophile and there was reasonable evidence of that, my grandma would have taken his picture off the wall. Do you know what I'm saying? And my grandma would have taken it off the wall.
I don't know. I've been sitting here long enough. I done had people call up to defend R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and Puffy. I've had people call up.
There would be, but like look at what's happening with the majority. Like the majority of MAGA, not Republicans, the majority of MAGA right now defending pedophiles, going out there and making arguments, like that shit that Megyn Kelly said about, well, he was only into 15-year-old girls, right? Like going out and doing that. Like there always going to be crazy people who tell you that Bill Cosby was trying to buy CBS and that's the reason why they took him down, not the fact that he was drugging women and raping them, right? There are always going to be those people, but the loud people,
it was
the ones
NBC. It was NBC.
Yeah, NBC. Yeah, you know that story.
We got to be accurate,
So I mean, it's that kind of thing, right? And I think that's the thing that I see. Like people come into my comment section and they're like, "You have Trump derangement syndrome," and I'm like, "I don't make Trump I've never made Obama my personality. I don't make any politician my personality. You guys make him your person." People getting tattoos and decorating their houses and open up sandwich shops named Trump and all. Like I drive in my hometown. There's a place in where I'm from in Virginia. They're trying to change the name to the place to be Trumpville, USA, or Trumptown, USA. Yes,
no,
absolutely, it is wild. Right?
Okay, that is a little crazy.
And as much as Obama meant to Black people in general, I do not believe that he meant as much to Black people as Trump means to white people, not people who happen to be white people.
I know what you're saying. I understand.
How are they going to elect a white supremacist president that doesn't do anything for white people? That's just the question I need to answer. Like somebody needs to answer that question for me.
Wow. How are they feeling now? 866. And by the way, white is a made up construct, which is what Joel is saying for those of you who aren't familiar with the show. I love the median income, which you already pointed out. Yep. Term limits, median income, no more travel. To DC. And I think it makes sense. As Tim Burkett was like, I don't care what they think. They're not voting for me. They're not my constituents, which should be the attitude of all of the folk in Congress.
Absolutely.
I'm serving the people. And when Mondani, when they asked him where he's like, I'm not going to Israel. I'm going to go to New York, all of the boroughs. I'm going to visit the people after I get elected. This is where I'm being elected, not over there. And I don't even know why they're going to Paris. Oh, I do know, because taxpayers are paying for it.
And Paris is dope.
Yes. Who wouldn't want to? Well,
who wants to go? Anyway. Everybody wants to go to Paris.
I have no desire. But the single issue bills, I think that's super important. Congress is broken because they stuff all of these things in, like they did the $500,000 payment to the egregious 8 senators who want to cash in if they get called out for their participation allegedly in January 6th insurrection. They want to get paid. That's coming up for vote. So I hope that gets removed. But why is that even in the bill? To open government.
Well, that was what remember Clinton had during the Clinton administration. Some of the listeners may understand that, remember this, but that's what the line item veto was supposed to be, right? It was supposed to be to eliminate that, and the Supreme Court deemed it unconstitutional, gave the president too much power. And so I think that was the thing. But like making a law that has single issue bills and making a law that says that when you speak to the media that you are assumed to be under oath, I think that would be a game changer.
I love that. But that means game changer. It means we also have to have a media that knows how to ask some damn questions.
I know.
We also need a media that y'all need to step come on now. We got this.
But Karen, you know that the media, and you spent time with the news channels, right? They're legitimately not designed to give you information. They're designed.
I'm not talking. I don't consider television news as media. As journalists, and I know some of y'all may be mad, but I would not. I don't think. Robin. She used to be a sports. Now I'm not even gonna. Let me not name check people, but I don't consider people who read teleprompters
Journalist.
and who have 10 people giving them stories and then they're talking to them in their ears, I don't consider them journalists because there's a different craft.
Yeah.
And maybe because I'm a print journalist, by trade, that I understand it and I taught it for 20 something years, that it's different,
It's a different thing,
than a news reader with a bunch of producers and somebody that's out in them streets.
A personality.
The middle of Brooklyn in a project talking to people about a murder of their child and then asking like fire, somebody just a plane crash. I've covered all of those. It's a different skill set that is lost because people aren't doing that work and they don't know how to ask the right questions. I love the correspondent yesterday who asked the Crown Prince about Khashoggi and made the president crash out. That's a journalist. She's a journalist, but the people who read your news on TV who look nice and got makeup and stuff, we need to also learn that as a culture, who's a journalist and who's not. And we need to give deference to people who actually are putting their lives on the line.
Well, Scandinavian countries have libel and slander laws that actually are serious. Like journalists go to prison for writing stuff that's not real.
I love that.
Not true. And I like that too. I mean, and there's an idea about free speech, right? And as much as I'm like, I still want people to be able to say what they want. I don't want the government involved in that, but I also don't want people lying, right? Like we had how many people died because of lies because of COVID, right? There were police officers who died because of lies of the election, right? And we had these politicians going out on television and saying lies and then going behind doors in court proceedings and telling the truth, right? And like that's a thing that I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see our media represent that. But the media is the media is broken in and of itself because cable news and all of those infotainment things were really just set up to sell you dick pills and siding, right? It's just the best vehicle to sell you dick pills and siding, right? That's exactly what they're doing, right? It's not really about giving you information. It's about
what
siding for your house, siding.
Oh,
yeah.
Those are two
or windows.
Okay.
I know, but it's the kind of stuff that people advertise for, right? Like that's what they're advertising. And it's about advertising.
I know it's two such different things. Okay. All right, let's go to the phones. Joe Christian Gill is his name. Where do you want people to follow you? Because you engage on your
Instagram.
on
Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
They follow me on Instagram.
Joel
Christian Gill. Yep.
Okay. And you get into it with the people and you laugh at them a lot.
I do
Your
laugh
laugh
at
is
them
infectious. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, let's go to Byron. Byron in Ohio. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show.
What's good, Byron?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Awesome.
How you doing, Karen?
Hey, brother.
I love that you're a listener and a learner, even in your position. I admire that. I'm just a blue-collar worker from Ohio, and I'm just calling in regards to the Congress and Supreme Court, the term conditions. What needs to happen, I believe, is they need to bring qualified young people in to shadow them and keep an eye on them, to take that next position they have.
Well, that was Byron, that actually was a thing that happened during during FDR's term. There was a situation when he was trying to pass all of his great the New Deal, and the Supreme Court was blocking it. So he actually, for every judge over a specific age, he actually added another judge to actually pack the Supreme Court in his favor, and it was overturned. So I'm not a fan of that, but I would definitely expand the court, making it larger, right? Making so that one vote doesn't count as much, and then also add term limits. And this is not my idea. Who's the brother on CNN and all these other places with the afro, who was a lawyer, had a big afro. He wrote a really great book about this.
Elie Mystal.
Yeah, that book is
Elie
great.
Mystal. Allow me to retort.
Yeah, allow me to retort. That's it. Yeah. That book is great. And he goes through a real good, and so you don't actually have to have something like where you have people shadowing, right? But because there's ageism and all this other stuff involved in that. Just like add 10 more people, 10 more seats so that one vote isn't as important as it is, and do a term limit.
Period. I love that.
Okay.
And
I
Byron,
can see that. Yeah.
Byron, you're not just a blue collar worker. You know, you are the backbone. You know
No,
what I'm saying? Like
I'm much more.
I know,
But,
I know, but we have to start empowering ourselves and you know leaning in to the thing that we bring to the table, Byron. So
Yeah, and that's
I
one
just
of the
want to
things
encourage you.
that has always been a detriment in America is that we do not honor the janitor, right? And I 100% believe, like I'm sitting in my quote unquote ivory tower in Boston University. I'm in my office, but you know, like the janitor, I talk to the janitors like I talk to the faculty. You know what I mean? Like they're my homies, just like the faculty are, right? Because they do an important job. And one of the things that we don't do in this country is we do not honor people who don't go to college and don't do these things, even though
Sure.
those jobs are as important as the
If not
job that
more.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's not a left or right thing either, right? Like I want us to look at somebody. I remember, I'll tell you this really quick story. I remember going to college and thinking I was doing this job. I was doing this mural. I painted this mural at this factory. And I was like talking to my professor about it. I'm like, these people have been at this factory job for like 20 or 30 years. I'm like, I can't imagine that. He was like, well, I'm going to be at my job for 20 or 30 years. And he's like, what's the difference? I'm like, but your job is different. He's like, is it though? Like this was my professor telling me this. And I was just like, you know what? You're exactly right. If this is a job that makes you happy and does and gives you what you need in life, that's all you need, right? You don't need a title. You don't need associate professor chair. You don't need any of that. You just
As a matter of
need to have a
fact,
job.
As a matter of fact, the last 20, 30 years of academia has proven that we don't need the professor. Let me not say that. Sorry, Joe. y'all haven't done the most. Let me just say that. Byron, last thing before we go, I don't want to cut you off. Let's make sure you get all of the words in that you want to say.
Well, no, I just admire the issues. I mean, they keep me going at the barbershop and at work, so I love it. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing.
All right, thank you, and shout out to the truck drivers, the longshore people, all of the folk who deliver the
When
things.
I retire, I'm gonna open up a barbershop. That's what I'm gonna do when I retire. I'm gonna cut hair. That's gonna be great. Just gonna be sitting and talking about stuff that doesn't really matter, sweeping the floor and cutting hair. That's what I did. That's what I did in under. Okay. That's what when everybody else was selling drugs when I was a kid. I cut hair. That's what I did.
Okay.
Right. And so I'm gonna get. That's my retirement.
So your edge up. Are you gonna do the white line? Or are you gonna?
I'm gonna do the white. I'm gonna do the whole thing.
You gonna spray paint the? Okay.
I'm gonna do the whole nine. It's gonna be dope. I'm gonna have conversations about who's the greatest NBA player. That's what I'm like. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay. All right. When we come back, and here's the thing. I played that clip on how to un-F Congress, but how to do that is to elect the people who are going to do that. Exactly. So there's still, for those that I don't care about politics, please, if you want to fix politics, you got to actually elect the people because that's the process right now. This is the game that we're in. Okay. So that means we have to flood Congress with people who are going to put in term limits, who are going to pass legislation because that's the legislative branch, 3 co-equal branches, who are going to pass laws to make single issue bills, who are going to pass laws to stop the travel to foreign places. We need to elect the people who are going to put in the median salary thing, which I think is really fair. Yeah. We're going to have to elect people, and we're going to have to ask them before we elect them, hey, here are the 5 things that we want to get done. Are you for it or against it? And if they say they're for it and they go in and do something different, primary their asses, get them the hell out of it. We have the power to do that. But we have to be focused. All right. We're going to go to break. When we come back, Christian Gill is here. Shout out to the people on YouTube. We're about to sign off. Tune in. It's free listening on SiriusXM, by the way. This is till December 1st. So if you have a car with SiriusXM, you can tune in to the Karen Hunter Show, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Right here on channel 126, Sirius XM, channel 126, where talk empowers and becomes action. You could do it for free from now to December 1st. So go ahead and share that information with everybody that you know. If you don't have Sirius XM, this is your time. All right. When we come back, Joel